Hey everyone, it's your girl TeraMichelle. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like them or not. The marketing campaign is flawless. Everything about the packaging and the pictures makes you feel beautiful. You have to have this fragrance. They send out their PR packaging. Everybody who gets it and reviews it loves it. So now you know it's the real deal. It's the 27th flanker in a line of flankers that all smell exactly alike. Come on now. You can't be the only person on earth without that 28th flanker. But guess what? This time, they changed the color of the bottle. Hold up now. Now you know we doing something. And this time, the top notes are at the bottom, the base notes are in the mid, and the mid notes at the top. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We are doing something. We have to have this. The hype around it, the buzz about it is amazing. We simply cannot be the only person who does not go out there to get this redundant fragrance. There's logic, and then there's the hype. And it calls so much louder. It pulls so deeply in your core. You got to get it. You have to. So you pre-order it. You check the mail every day, even though you know it hasn't shipped. You check your tracking every day, even though you know it hasn't shipped. Eventually, through all the hubbub, months, weeks, whatever, it's on your porch. The package arrives. You open it, pull out the bottle, take off the cap, first spritz. Okay, now what? What exactly do we do after the hype? Today's video is all about us getting wrapped up, caught up in the buzz and the hype about a fragrance. FragCom explodes and everybody is talking about something, some new release. 20,000 perfumes released in 1 year and they all have the main note of cherry. And then the next time around it's strawberry and the next time around it's chocolate. It is just this crazy, crazy, chaotic, very seductive, very persuasive mess. And we all fall for it eventually. Some of us, like me, are coming out of it. So I just wanted to pick a few fragrances that had a lot of hype, a lot of buzz around them, and talk to you about what happened once I actually received them. So if you're interested to know what fragrances I'm talking about, and if you want to know what happened once I got them, let's jump right into the video. We are going to start off with one of the most iconic fragrances on the planet. Yes, you will hear people complain about the price. You will hear them complain about the fact that they are nose blind to it, or I coined the phrase a peekaboo fragrance. One of those fragrances where you smell it 1 minute and you can't the next. But what I will say is that whether you can smell it or not, everyone around you will, and it is one of the best to ever be created. The biggest problem with this fragrance is that it has been cloned or duped so many times, and it's just oversaturating the world. I smell it everywhere I go now, and it really has taken a little bit of the magic out of it for me. But I'm speaking about none other than Maison Francis Kirk de Jean's Baccarat Rouge 540. For me, I got it right before the hype exploded into this full capacity. So I was able to enjoy it and really live with it before everybody else got a hold of it or got a hold of a clone or a dupe and you just smelled it everywhere. So for me, this was worth the hype. I immediately started wearing it and just loved on it as long as I could. Right now, it's sitting on the shelf. However, I will put it back out or pull it back out once things die down. I'm just not the girl who wants to walk into a room and smell like 27 other people. I will never be that girl. And right now, while this is still taking over the world, and more than likely in its inspired by duped forms, most of those clones are so good that to the untrained nose, it just all smells alike. So for me, definitely worth the hype, but it is taking a little hiatus right now. We might as well stay on the track with super iconic fragrances that have been inspired so much, that have been duped so much that it's just oversaturated. Luckily for me, nobody around me has the original or a clone, so I get to wear it as often as I want. I don't get complimented on it. Well, I think I've had 2 compliments on it in the 3 or 4 years that I've owned it. I love it though, so I don't care. However, for me, again, I got this right after Demi Rawlings started talking about it, so the hype had not exploded till its full potential or capacity yet. So I got a chance to enjoy it. First of all, it took me 4 tries before I liked it and then just fell in love with it. And I still get to do that because, again, nobody else around me is wearing it. This is none other than the iconic beauty Delina from Parfums de Marly. A beautiful dry rose with this exquisite rhubarb note. It's not for the faint at heart and it is not for everyone. So if you don't vibe with Delina, that's cool. I do. I love her. And she used to be a top 10 for life, but I have so many fragrances now and I just love, love, love. I'm more of a sweet person than a tart, but this one right here does it for me in that tart category. So I love her. I love her. I think she was absolutely worth the hype, just like MFK 540. I just think that now, when you think back on it and you try to compare it to what we have now, it doesn't fit because both of these fragrances have been cloned so much. There's really not a need to get the original unless you're just a collector or someone who prefers to have the original. But at first, when it came out, because all you had was Delina to get, it was iconic and memorable and so beautiful. So she, again, was also very much worth the hype. And as soon as I got her, I started wearing her. No wait time, none at all. I wanted to bathe in this fragrance. About the cream to it, I just was like, yes, give me life, Delina, more abundantly. Next up, we have a more recent love. This exploded into FragCom like dynamite. I couldn't believe how many people just started talking about this fragrance overnight. I think this is another one that Demi Rawling brought us. A lot of fragrances were brought to the forefront of FragCom by her, especially niche fragrances and even the designers, but I wasn't really into YouTube back when she was talking about designers. So this is from a house that I have yet to find anything that I thought was worth the price tag they are asking for. Not Lyra or anything else. I Look, y'all, this is Dama Bianca. One of the biggest letdowns of life to me when it comes to fragrance. This fragrance smells off. And I know it's not off. This is how it smells. I've tried other people's, I've smelled on other people, and something in this just reminds me of, like, if you have a sour milk smell, that is what I think it's akin to, only if it were a sour vanilla smell, like it was going bad. This was talked about so much. I'm so glad this was gifted to me because I would have been hot if I would have purchased this with my own coin. It costs too much and it's just not good to me. I think this was definitely not worth the hype. I think this entire house is overrated. I think most of the fragrances that are overhyped in FragCom are just not worth it from this line. I'm not impressed at all. So Dama Bianca, super hyped up, super overrated. No, it's a no for me. I do not say this to be rude or mean, but I have to give my opinion. I mean, the channel is opinionated sense, correct? Okay. I think this is currently the most overrated house. It's overhyped, but you can't knock it because the marketing is amazing. The PR thing they did last time, amazing, because every single person almost who got this thing in the PR package swore it was the greatest thing that ever came out. I disagree vehemently, but that's their opinion. Or is it? Let me stop being bad. Let me stop being bad. So again, this house is so overhyped. And every time I fall for it, every single time. I love some fragrances from this house. I own 7 of them. 6 of them I love. 1 of them I do not. I'm about to talk about it right now. But I'm not going to lie. They are overhyped for the longevity and projection of these fragrances. When you add the price point to it, especially with that Eden '01 Juicy Apple situation, come on. Straight up Bath and Body Works body spray, body splash. I don't care what anybody says. Utopia, same thing. However, we're here to talk about this super duper overhyped, overrated, oversold. Just come on. K.I.L.E. Vanilla Royale, Sugared Patchouli 64. It's a no for me. There's way too much oud. There's way too much patchouli. This is a super masculine fragrance. When you talk about the vanilla and the creme brulee, if they dial back on the golden rum a bit, okay. And what's the other thing that's in this thing that I like? The brown sugar. Come on, the brown sugar is probably what saves this thing, in the dry down after all. But I cannot walk around smelling like this opening. I am not sure if I'm going to sell this thing or gift it away or just wait and keep playing with it, because I did that with Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper and ended up loving it. But man, this was a huge letdown. And I knew I walked into it because I know I don't like oud. But then I like Bola & Lay from Belle Centaur, so I thought maybe we got something going. This smells a lot like Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And I didn't like that either. I thought it was too, let me not say I didn't like it. I think it's too masculine for me. If a guy were wearing this, I'd probably love it on him. But for me, not a chance. I prefer Crater, the duo version of Grand Soir, to this and to Grand Soir. So that's what I have, Crater. And I still don't wear it. My 8-year-old took it from me and I love it on him. So, this definitely not worth the hype. And to me, I think a lot of the hype was bought. That's just me. Because there are some people who I have really, really similar, noses to. And I just was like, there's no way I dislike this as strongly as I do. And you love it as much as you do, other than you got the PR package. So I don't know. But I'm not going to call anybody out because I'm just going to take you at your word. If you're sitting up here on this telephone, or wherever you're watching this, and you're telling me you love this thing, you better be telling me the truth. That's all I got. Armani Code Cashmere took FragCom by storm. And we quickly learned that it was being discontinued. So everybody was all the rage about getting this. And this is one of my favorite orange blossom fragrances on the planet. I never wear this because I just know I can't get it again. And I'm going to have to come out of that and just experience it and love it while I have it, because I don't want it to turn on me. But then someone brilliantly found out that there was Armani Code Satin. Some people say Satin. Looks like satin to me. That's what I'm going with. And they started hyping it up to nuclear levels, where everyone was scrambling to get their hands on it, including me. You see, I'm holding it, right? Before this joker disappeared, because it disappeared before Cashmere did. But the hype around it and the overselling, and again, it was too much, because this is not better than Cashmere at all to me. Not even close, actually. So this was not worth the hype where Cashmere was, but I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. I'm going to give it to you with a grain of salt, because this was disappearing. And it's not a bad fragrance, but we always want something when we know we won't be able to get it again. So I'm not going to blame this too much, but I will say this was so overhyped. And when I got it and I experienced it, I was super let down, and it made me covet my Cashmere even more. Did I say Cashmere? Cashmere even more. We're about to talk about the most overhyped vanilla fragrance on the planet. I just cannot understand why this fragrance is on everybody's top 10 holy grail list. When I got this, it was a huge letdown. From the Play-Doh smell to the root beer smell, sometimes to Coca-Cola, I just was like, what is this? There are some times when I spray it on and I really like it, but not enough for it to have been as hyped as it was and pushed off on us like, if you don't have this, you can't really say you have the collection. If you don't have this, you're missing out on the best vanilla in the world. Child, please no. This is from Dior, and it is called Hypnotic Poison. I think this is the most unworthy, overhyped fragrance I've ever smelled. And I know that's probably going to make some people mad. Baby, it's not that I don't care, but I don't care. Not that I don't care about your feelings, but I will not change my mind. And you loving it definitely won't make me change my mind. This thing, I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it, but I also don't want to give it away because it's held in such high regard to others. In this weird way, sometimes it's just a thing. But no, it should not be touted as much as it is, in my opinion. Only guys, if you love it, please keep loving it. This is just TeraMichelle talking about what she loves and what she does not, what she does not appreciate. I was very, very, very let down. Very, very let down. And I think for a while, I let the hype go. I was like, see, if this is what y'all kicking out, I'm not buying. But I do have an appreciation for it, and I understand what it means to FragCom. So I'll be keeping it in my collection, no problem. Overhyped, overrated, oversold. Just no. We're down to my final fragrance. And if you're still here, please don't forget to click that like button, subscribe to my channel, join the Terra Squad. I love to have you here. Also, select that notification bell so that you never miss any of my future uploads, and share me across all of your social media platforms, especially to all your friends that you know love Hypnotic Poison. I'm sure they'll love me. So this final fragrance we're going to be talking about comes from the House of Swiss Arabian, and this is Casablanca, baby. Let me tell you something. This took me 6 months to get used to because there was just something in the top of this that just was not vibing for me. I finally wore this thing when it got cold, and that caramel apple came alive, and I'm telling you, my life has never, ever been the same. This had so much hype, and it was so well deserved. It was so well deserved. As you see with my dents, I love this fragrance. This fragrance means so much to me. It's in my top 10 for life. It probably always will be. And baby, she's just a whole vibe. She's a whole vibe. Casablanca from Swiss Arabian. When you're dealing with a lot of designer fragrances and even the niche fragrances now, so much of this stuff is literally smelling the same. They have the same notes. I wonder if these houses and designers get together just to run game on us. They all sit around and say, we're going to release the same fragrance from a different house and a different bottle, but it's going to be the same thing. And we're just going to set it out there and we're all going to make money. Because at this point, I think they could get away with it. It feels like that's what they're doing. Again, even with some of these niche fragrances, it's just like, man, when you get to a collection as big as mine, you start to notice the redundancies. I mean, they're everywhere. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. As always, I love talking to you guys in the comments, so come through and talk to me. And on Instagram, if you like, I always post about this video on Instagram. Please be sure to go back and watch my other videos. I actually released my top purchases of 2022. So if you haven't seen that, I'll probably place it here or put it at the end of the video so you can catch that, because I have some real gems. And I know a lot of you want me to do an in-depth review of my new favorite fragrance of all time. For real, I'm not putting it above Margot Line. I'm just saying that right now, when it comes to new fragrances, Madeira is everything to me. If you want to know more about that fragrance, go and check out my favorite purchases of 2022 video, because a lot of you didn't. I wonder if it's because I said I had a paid promotion. It's just the follow-up to my Teddy Blake bag, because I had so many people asking me if it was worth it, if it was tattered and torn yet, and da 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 da. So I just wanted to make sure, because I was talking about something that was gifted to me, to put the paid promotion in. And I think that that makes a lot of people not want to watch a video, which is sad, because I always drop nothing but the gems, baby, and you missing out. Don't play yourself. However, again, I do want to talk to you in the comments. Let's talk about these fragrances. Do you agree with me on any of these fragrances? And what are the fragrances that you purchased that were just completely overhyped, that you loved and that you didn't really care for, and you didn't really feel like it was worth the hype? Drop them in the comments box for me. And until then, bye.